top of the day to you guys out there. I say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone and when I'm able to upload this video. I have waited. I didn't want to do this video because we have talked about this issue before. It's about Prophet TB Joshua. We've talked about him before, and we did not draw a conclusion. We just left all the cards on the table for you to decide. Is TB Joshua, is he a man from God? Or he was a man that came to this world to do the work of this Satan? That's the question we throw to you. But deep down in our hearts of hearts, we believe that TB Joshua was a good man. He was a loving leader. He was passionate. He had empathy. And these are the characteristics of a Christian. Before you are a Christian, you have to be good. There have to be goodness in you. That is the primary element of being a Christian. There have to be goodness in you. So we're also not going to conclude, but we just want to let you know that BBC came out with a documentary, and the summary of it all was three things: that TB Joshua was sexually harassing, molesting the female members of his church, or the disciples that were working with him. That was the first, that he sexually molested them. Two, that he consciously wanted to use men for his own good. Consciously wanted to use men for his own good. That it was all about himself. That's the second thing. Then the third thing, that he was not truly a man of God. That he was an occultic man, that he had a lot of secrets. That's the summary of the BBC report. I want you to please get in touch with that report, watch the video, listen to people like Bisola spit out hatred, anger, revenge from their hearts of hearts against the man who they claim housed them for years, some 10 years, 15 years, and most of all these people who came to the synagogue came because they had problems, be it physical or spiritual. They had nowhere to turn to, and they came to synagogue to seek help. But first of all, did they get the help? The question I want to ask, is it everybody that has gone to look for help that will get it? No. Remember the 10 virgins and the Bible. Remember the leprosy. When they were asked to go and wash, was it all of them that came out satisfied? Was it all of them that came out and said, oh, even those that were satisfied, was it all of them that came back and say, oh, give a testimony? No. You see, TB Joshua is a controversial man. We are not surprised that this issue is coming up. But what surprised us is that those who he had given shelter, provided protection for, are the ones coming out to talk against him. Or were they expecting TB Joshua to pay them? Did they have a contract with TB Joshua that say, I'm going to stay with you for 10 years, and after 10 years you will pay me off? Nobody knows. And they did not even mention that they have such a contract. First of all, we want to talk about the controversy surrounding TB Joshua. Why a lot of people are going about spreading these lies and all. First of all, the circumstances surrounding the birth of TB Joshua is even controversial. It's a fact that TB Joshua was conceived for 12 months. I think 12, 13, 14 or thereabouts. But it was more than the 9 months that normally a woman conceives. That itself is something controversial about TB Joshua. It's something spiritual about him. He was not a normal child, because he didn't come the way a normal child would come. So he was not a normal child. And we also knew that his way was also not normal. His way were different from the conventional Orthodox churches or Christians use. For example, in Nigeria, for example, there is no man of God that does not have a mentor or does not have a father, a spiritual father figure that taught him. TB Joshua has none. That one alone is also enough for his colleague to see him as somebody that just came in, grab the religion of a thing, grab the prophet of a thing. In fact, they keep asking, who is your spiritual father? Who ordained you? Which church did you go first before you opened your own church? None. This was a man who embraced Christianity and did it the way he think. So that alone is something that will be annoying. And even when they try to bring him into the fold, remember, Christian Association of Nigeria tried to invite him. TB Joshua did not. He, up to his death, did not belong to the Christian Association of Nigeria. Why? Because they have said a lot of bad things about him. So when he finally got to the top and they wanted him to be part of the Christian Association of Nigeria, he refused. He wanted to go solo. He was a loner. He wanted to do it alone himself. He believed in nobody except himself. Probably that is why people don't like him too much. You will remember Iyaraduwa even called him president of Nigeria years back, called him for him to get an award. What was the award for? The Nigerian government noticed that 60% of tourists coming to Lagos was visiting his church. And it might interest you to know that that was the only church he has. Not like the conventional that the GO that have churches in every state, in every town, and all the stuff. That was the only church that was his. He refused to go personally to accept that award from the president. He sent his wife. And a lot of people, not even the GOs now, a lot of prominent men were not happy that the president called you to give you an award and you are sending your wife. Some of them also were angry because of his action. And no matter what people say about him, he never come out to say, you are lying, it's true, this is how it is. He never. He was very silent. Silent. Also, people have interpreted to me so many things. Some have interpreted to me that he was very secretive, that he didn't want people to know anything about him. Some have said he was very humble. A lot of people have said so many things. Even when he was accused of drug issue, he did not drag nobody. He faced his tribulations alone. And when he came out, he did a documentary of his ordeal with the policemen and those who accused him that he was into drug. Then others are also angry with him. Remember the building, the church building that collapsed and killed a lot of people. Many have gone to say he did that as a kind of a ritual to uplift himself. But how many construction companies in Nigeria we've heard that the building collapsed? Because in Nigeria, it is very uncommon for the engineer to test the soil, know how the texture of the soil, to be able to know what kind of building the soil can take. We just want to build 10-story building. That is our plan. Even when we are buying the land, we don't test the soil. So we believe that was just an incident that occurred, and a lot of people are angry about that. I am also very aware that he went about helping a lot of people. And people have even said that you help a lot of people. You have gone to various countries to help. Your elder brother is still poor. But what most people didn't know is that TB Joshua had never lived a rich man's life. Even though he held a lot of money, he has lived as a very humble man. So after his death, we heard that there were some partners, because he partnership with some bodies, international bodies, because the church was an international church, and those partners wanted to come in and play a part or have a role to play in the church. But the wife came out and said, no, this is my husband's church. Now that he is gone, I solo only will be the overseer of the church. And that too must have even annoyed some other people. So for Bisola to have come out and said the accusation, remember we said it's theory. I listened to the wise men. They said TB Joshua lives in a 2-room apartment. The wise men were in one while he was in the other room. And there was no way anybody would walk. There was no way anybody would walk to TB Joshua's room without passing where the wise men were living. Because these are people that were surrounding him. They were close to him. They wash his clothes, attend to his needs. And they said TB Joshua was somebody that will check you even at 12 midnight to make sure that you are studying. So they said it is a lie that Bisola, there was no way Bisola could have gone to see or slept with TB Joshua without them knowing. So what wise man Daniel said was that there was a lot of disciples who wanted to be like a daughter of TB Joshua. Some of them even changed their surname to Joshua. They see themselves as children of TB Joshua, and they wanted to share in the heritage, or they wanted to begin to drag positions with the biological children. And when they could not get that what they want, they now revolted to begin to blackmail the man of God. And the only way they could blackmail him is to say that the synagogue was a hair for them. So this is our candid opinion. TB Joshua have lived a good life. He was a good man. Goodness is the first requisite, is the first ingredient of being a Christian. You have to be good. You have to have empathy. You have to have sympathy. You have to believe in principles. And this is exactly what TB Joshua stands for. The wise man also said something. If you make a mistake, TB Joshua will not cover up for you. He will announce the mistake in the general meeting so that you will be ashamed. So that you will be ashamed. And most of them said they were there for 10 years. And we learned that place you were free to go out when you like. The thing is that you have rules and regulations. You have rules and regulations. You cannot just walk out. If you walk out, you are not coming back. So if those that have come out and said that place was here, why did you stay there for 10 years? Why did you stay there for 15 years? And some will say that they were caged. No. Nobody caged you. You caged yourself. You caged yourself. You're thinking that this empire that TB Joshua has built, you could be part of it. And that was why you stayed. And when you discover that you cannot be part of it, and what happened? You revolted as a way of revenge, showing anger, paying the man that took you from the street for protection. Because most of them that came were people that were highly troubled, physically and spiritually. Like I listened to some who said they were prostitutes while they were in the world. That they came to the synagogue to find peace, spiritual cleansing. Fine. But you did not find that peace. And the question we're asking now, have you found that peace even after leaving the synagogue? Most of them, from what the wise men are saying, are still struggling to have that spiritual fulfillment. So we are not surprised that these men and women came out to pay back TB Joshua for his good he has done. But what we in the TV is surprised is for BBC to carry out this documentary after his death, when you know he will not be around to say his own case? Like what the wise man Daniel said, even if TB Joshua was around, he would not even answer. So, my friends, my brother, my sister out there, let's do what TB Joshua will have done. Not answer. Whatever they want to picture, they want to paint, let them paint. We know fully well that it is God that has the power to judge. It is God that has the power to decide who is with him. And it is God who has the power to throw those who are not with him away. With that, we say, let us keep our fingers crossed. Let's begin to look for God, because salvation is personal. Let's begin to ask our Father to bless us individually, because every man who holds his own tickets that will enable him enter the kingdom of God. With that, we'll say we've come to the end of this video. As it is the culture in this video, we'll ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. It is important you like, you let us know that you enjoy what we are doing. Comment, we want to have your own point of view too. Remember, it takes two to tango. And subscribe, because we are one big family. And for our returning subscribers, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, we love you, but God love you most. As it is the culture of this channel. We will catch you when we make the next video. Until then, we'll say truths, adios, au revoir, ciao, hasta la vista. Remember, God is above, watching over all of us. Thank you.